right. It is ranking season. We are unveiling the top 10s in each classification in the 2021 Summer Edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. A reminder, expanded rankings in the 2021 Summer Edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football in every classification. We have reached, I guess we're getting up to, we call 5A big schools, right?
Yeah,
5A and 6A are
big boys
schools.
now. Yeah.
This is big schools. We're into Class 5A, unveiling the top 10 in the Class 5A Dave Campbell's Texas Football Associated Press rankings. We'll go to 5A Division 2 to start. Start with a smaller classification in 5A, where at the number 10 spot we find the Mustangs of Grapevine, are the number 10 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. A run to the regional semifinals last year and came up just short to Lubbock Cooper. We think they could be even better, thanks in large part to what could be outstanding line play and a tremendous running back in Caleb Tejada. Grapevine, number 10 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Followed by one of the surprises of 2020, the Leander Rouse Raiders are the number 9 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. If you thought last year was a surprise, you're going to love this year's team because they bring back almost everybody from last year's squad. 7 starters on offense, 5 on defense. They have a chance to defend their district championship and go even farther. The Leander Rouse Raiders are number 9 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Let's bounce up to Region 2 to talk about the Mansfield Timberview Wolves. Timberview Wolves are the number 8 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Last year's regional semifinals team will have one of the very best secondaries in the state, as well as some offensive skill talent that will make your jaw drop. They're going to have some guys who play both ways, but they are really, really dangerous. I like this Timberview team, especially if they can find some pieces on the offensive and defensive lines. They start at the year number 8. Staying in Region 2, number 7, the Ennis Lions are the number 7 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Of course, Sam Harrell is back after last year's, I would say, relatively disappointing early round exit to the aforementioned Mansfield Timberview. This is a team that does have some reloading to do. But if they can do that, and with one of the best coaches in the state, they have a great chance. Ennis is the number 7 team. Number 6. Lubbock Cooper Pirates are the number 6 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. A regional finalist from last year's squad, does have one of the very best 1-2 punches defensively that you will find in the state with Kobe McKenzie and Kyler Jordan. How do they fill in around them, especially on the offensive side? That's the big question. We think they've got a chance to make a deep run. They are the number 6 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Followed by number 5. The Huntsville Hornets are number 5 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. After last year's, I would say, run to the regional semifinals, coming up just short to Cinderella Crosby. They bring back a ton offensively. 8 starters back on offense. The defense does have to rebuild a little bit, but that's tends to be a standard there for Coach Rodney Southern and company. The Huntsville Hornets are numbers 5 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Into the top 4. The Liberty Hill Panthers, the number 4 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Last year's state semifinalists, of course, rode a wave of emotion all the way to the semifinals. And look, their offensive line, or their offense, is almost entirely wiped. They were a very senior-heavy team offensively. Defense, which did take a little bit of a backseat to the team last year, will be more experienced. How do they rebuild that slot T offense? That's a big question for new coach Kent Walker. They are the number 4 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Number 3. How about Lovejoy? The Leopards of Lovejoy are the number 3 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. If you're a little surprised, maybe you haven't been paying attention. We think this team is really good, and they, of course, came up just short to Aledo in the regional final last year. We think their defense has a chance to be special. We think their special teams are going to be great. They need to find a couple of skill position playmakers to step up. But if they do, they are a threat to go all the way. Lovejoy, number 3 this year. Number 2. Buffaloes of Fort Bend Marshall are the number 2 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Last year they took a little bit of their lumps, but that's going to pay off this year, especially with the offensive skill talent that they bring back. They do have to work in a couple new linebackers, and they're going to be but last year they played 12 sophomores. 12 sophomores. Jeez. That experience is going to pay dividends in 2021. The Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes are number 2. You guys are never going to believe who's number 1. You guys are going to blow you away.
Whoa.
The Aledo Bearcats are the number 1 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football to start the year. And look, it's not all sunshine and daffodils. I will say that. It's not all sunshine and daffodils for Tim Buchanan's squad. They have to replace some big-time wide receiver talent and some big-time skill talent. But defense could be very, very good. The offense does have some replacing to do, but Tim Buchanan has helped build one of the dominant programs in the state of Texas. They are our pick to bring home another 5A Division II state champion. They start the year number 1 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Of course, you can find expanded rankings of every classification in the 2021 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas football, available at texasfootball.com/subscribe.
Another one.
Can you go back to the other one?
Sure. There it is.
Ish, any thoughts?
Man, as somebody who grew up in Central Texas, Rouse being in there,
I know.
Yeah.
that's awesome. No, I love it. Like, typically in that school district, I mean, they're typically third, right? You
Yeah.
think of Cedar Park, you think of Vandergrift, and before you get to Rouse. I was talking to Coach Mann for over this past off season, and yeah, it's really exciting to see what's going on there, and that's actually a couple miles from where my family lives now,
Yeah.
which is actually really interesting. So I'm gonna definitely try to hit up some Rouse games this year.
It's 5A Division II strikes me as there's this big looming giant, and Fort Bend Marshall, of course, is there.
Sure.
But there's just a lot of fun depth there. That I think you saw that
100%.
last year, like with Crosby's running. You may notice that Crosby's not ranked,
Yeah.
which is again expanded rankings.
Would love to. We now see why Coach Ross took that job. Would love to.
Absolutely.
From Red Oak.
You've got a lot of fun teams kind of below at least that very, very top team that can go and make some noise. So,
100%.
hey, thanks for watching this clip here on YouTube. If you like this kind of stuff and you want more of it, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember, you can watch us live every weekday at noon at texasfootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, or here on YouTube. And if you want more of the best coverage of football in the state of Texas, check out texasfootball.com and become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at texasfootball.com/subscribe.